So maybe we can start with Estefenía, Carpo, presenting BioRadar.
That's me. Oh, great. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Estefenía Carpio. I come from the Hamburg University of Applied Sciences, and I'm going to show you not really results yet from the project because we're still working on that, but a little bit of the methodology that we are developing for one of the outputs that we're going to develop for the project. So, the implementation scorecard. First of all, a little bit about BioRadar. BioRadar is a project form of 7 partners. We have partners from research and technology organizations, 1 university, small and medium enterprises, 3 small and medium enterprises, and 1 standardization body. What are the goals of BioRadar? We aim to help organizations, policymakers, and investors have the necessary information to step towards a more sustainable bio-based economic model. How we want to help them to do that? By developing a set of environmental, social, and circularity indicators. Also methods and business models that can help them in their path towards sustainability. Also, we are developing an AI-driven tool that's going to help them assess their progress and their current status in terms of sustainability. And also, we have a self-assessment platform for the bio-based industry that, where they can see some benchmarks that are currently applicable in their specific sector. So these are basically the main goals of the project. So we're going to analyze environmental impacts, risk, and cost. We will have this bio-based system monitoring for the companies to track their progress and to see where they are standing at the moment and see what could be the next steps for them. We will also provide them with some benchmark indicators. What are the social implications of their activities? Give them some best practices and also some regulations, a tool, for them to assess which regulations are applicable for the industry. This is more or less the structure of the project. So we have work package 1, which is focusing on the environmental, economic, and social aspects of the bio-based systems. Then we have the work package 2 as well, which is assessing the circularity aspects of these bio-based systems. In work package 3, we are developing, with the inputs from these 2 additional work packages, we're developing these digital monitoring tools, which we will have at the end in work package 4 as part, sorry, I'm having throat problems. We're taking care of the upscaling and replicating the project results coming from all these 2 other work packages. And then also, of course, the work package number 5, communication, dissemination, and exploitation, which are all controlled and coordinated by the work package 6. So, as part of the work package 4, one of the tasks that we have here is the elaboration of the BioRadar implementation scorecard. We also have the replication facility here. We will focus a bit on the business models as well and the exploitations plan. And also we are developing massive online open course, which is a place where we will put all the deliverables and also the information that is going to be useful for our stakeholders. As I was mentioning before, we will have this replication facility that will work as a knowledge platform. We will share there the best practices, the knowledge that it has been produced by the project, and also we will have some information about standardization processes, and give the opportunity of networking for the different stakeholders. So, what is the implementation scorecard? What we want to do here, basically, we are trying to develop this new approach for the companies to estimate their contribution to the SDGs in the 4 dimensions, so social, environmental, circular, and economic. And the idea is that we want to make it comparable between companies, and also that is something that is easy for them to assess. Who are our target users? Basically, startups, SMEs, and companies that are lacking a sustainability plan, as we know that bigger companies are already taking steps, and they have specific consultancies for this, for analyzing their contributions to the SDGs. So we are aiming for these SMEs, basically. The idea is that once they go through this scorecard and they reply to the questions that we will present shortly, they can have a single score in each of the sustainability dimensions, and then we can provide them, depending on where they're standing at the moment, we can provide them with some feedback for improvement so that they can move forward in their path towards sustainability. So what is the methodology? First, we want to identify and select which are the relevant KPIs that are linked to the SDGs and that correspond to each of these sustainability dimensions. So we would have 4 KPIs per each SDG. Then we want to develop a targeted questionnaire for each of the 3 use cases. I need to mention there that the BioRadar project is focusing mainly on 3 use cases, which are textiles, packaging, and fertilizers. Then, of course, as part of these questionnaires, we want to have these relevant questions that are linked to the KPIs that, of course, bring the link again to the Sustainable Development Goals. And here also develop this scoring system for them to know where they're standing right now, if they have identified their issues or they need to still do it. So, for example, we will assign scores based on the implementation levels of each company. This is more or less the scores that we have thought so far. So we would have a score from 0 to 5. 0 being, for example, the case if the KPI would not be applicable for the specific company. So it's not relevant for them. And the values from 1 to 5, depending if they have not yet identified or they don't have sustainability practices in practice yet. The second one, if they have identified the main issues and are taking initial steps, but they don't have an established plan yet. The 3 would be they have moderate improvements towards sustainability and the company is aware of the issues and are working into developing a plan. The score number 4, if they have already significant improvement in their sustainability practices and are already doing some progress in reaching these targets. And number 5, of course, if they are leading their sustainability performance with the plan of sustainability already implemented. Okay. Then the 4th step would be to aggregate and visualize the results. So for each sustainability dimension, we will have one individual score related to the KPI, and it's going to be averaged per dimension. So for each SDG, we will have 4 KPIs, one for economic, environment, social, and circular. And then once we analyze them for the 17 SDGs, then we will have one single score for each dimension. And once we have that, we can the companies can visualize their scores. I think there was an example before of how it looks like, or maybe afterwards, sorry. And then once they have this final visual result, we would give them some feedback and recommendations so that they can actually act based on the results and see which areas of improvement they still have to strengthen. And this has to be, of course, considering the specific use case and the performance of their current activities. This is important before the final implementation of the scorecard. We want to do kind of like a co-creation workshop with the small companies so that we can actually, they can help us identify the most relevant KPIs for their operations and what would be applicable to the sector, and also considering the differences in locations, the type of products, and all these background information that would be relevant for them to assess their sustainability. So this would be more or less the structure. We would have the textiles, packaging, and fertilizers use cases, and for which we will have a KPI identified for each of the sustainability goals. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have an example for packaging, which would be more relevant for this conference right now, but I'm going to show you a little bit of what we have developed for the textile sector at the moment. So we have chosen the SDG number 12 for the moment. We have related to each of the SDG targets. And in terms one SDG target for each sustainability dimension, and then the specific KPI that would be related to this one. For example, one big problematic, as we know, textiles has is the water consumption and water pollution. So the KPI water footprint would be the most relevant for the environmental dimension. And then the question for the company would be, has the company identified its water withdrawal and implemented a plan to reduce water consumption in its operations? Depending on the questions here, we can give them this scoring if they still are lacking a plan, and how we would afterwards give them the feedback on how what are the next steps that they should take on to start implementing these plans into their facilities. So also for the social aspect, for example, the communication programs and actions promoting social corporate responsibility. The question for the company would be, has the company identified the social impacts of its operation and products and developed a plan to promote social corporate responsibility? These are all based on the Global Reporting Initiative and the disclosures that have been available for the companies so far. Before, we were trying to take an approach to establish a measurable target for each sector, but definitely this is an approach that would be more difficult to apply into a broader area. Like we cannot really tell a specific water consumption target, for example, for the textile industry, because this would greatly vary depending on where the company is located, what is the conditions of the water resources at the specific location. So we decided to go for a more broader action, so that would be easier for the companies to have a comparison and to benchmark with the other companies in the same area. So this is basically what we have done so far. As I mentioned, one of the big steps in this process of creating the implementation scorecard is having this co-creation workshop with the companies, which is really going to be helpful for us to identify if what we are doing is actually going to be useful for them, because in the end, the companies are the ones that are going to be the end users, and we want them to have something that is going to actually help them implement and bring sustainability into its operations. If you have any questions, thank you so much.
Thank you, Estefenía. We'll have anyway at the end a short Q&A session, just for anyone who wants to comment or asks anything. Next project we'll have is Bio for Human. So, Carla, floor is yours.
Thank you, Aldo. So, well, I think, okay. Bio for Human, maybe it's a little different to what we have been talking today, because it's more related to the solid waste management in humanitarian settings. So it's more related to humanitarian context. But, well, the full name of the project is Identifying Bio-Based Solutions for Waste Management Applicable to the Humanitarian Sector. So, well, it started this year in January and will end in June 2026. Well, we are 10 partners. We are from different countries, Spain, Poland, some NGOs. We'll see, I don't know, some NGOs, which is PA, and I don't see the other one here. Maybe it's this one because it's is from, yeah, maybe are these two ones. Okay, so Bio for Human overarching objective is to provide humanitarian aid operators and bio-based sector stakeholders with science-based information on the potential application of sustainable performances and the circularity of bio-based products and systems that, that are suitable for humanitarian purposes. And also, this is really important for us that the main findings of the project will be translated into a set of guidelines and recommendations and a replication roadmap of solutions identified that are applicable to the humanitarian context. So I would like to introduce you a little bit about this because maybe it's not, you are not very concerned about, but in humanitarian actions, solid waste generated by both the affected population and the humanitarian activities can accumulate quickly and in large amounts. So the large build-up of waste have clear potential impacts on public health, livelihood, and the environment. And also it's important to stress out that it's characterized by poor waste management systems. So, this is usually caused by the fact that in humanitarian crisis, the focus is directly towards basic life-saving activities and service, but not keeping pace with the amount of waste generated. So what are the objectives? So the first one is to assess the scope to which bio-based solutions and bio-based system technology have the potential to be applied under this context. So first, what we have done is to define and catalog the needs of the humanitarian sector in solid waste management. Then we are now at this point, which is to assess the scope of the different bio-based innovative and technological solutions and systems. And with the 10 solutions that we define at this step, then we will conduct the life cycle sustainability assessment, okay, to South Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, so in the life cycle assessment, we are taking into account all the logistic scheme because it's really important in these settings. And also, here, yes, sometimes it doesn't work. Okay. So another objective is the socioeconomic and governance aspect. So we are evaluating the socioeconomic and governance aspect of bio-based solutions identified, and we will conduct two feasibility studies into African countries, which South Sudan and Republic Democratic Congo. And also this is what is really important for us, as commented before, this is development of the guidelines and recommendations. So we are developing guidelines and recommendations for policymakers, bio-based sector, humanitarian aid practitioners, and the scientific community. Sorry for that. Okay, this is the conceptual flow. So we are now we are in the final in the final step of this part, which is to identify the solutions that could be applicable to Bio for Human, and also the gaps that we found in this because it's mostly a literature review project more than we really produce any demonstrator like here in Preserve. But then the next step, which is starting now, is this part of the environmental LCA and all the socioeconomic and governance aspects evaluations. So we have done this assessment of the needs in the humanitarian sector, so I will comment a little bit about this. So, the first one is the lack of infrastructure, obviously. Also a lack of financial resources, of national policies that regulate this, because they either lack or are not sufficiently enforced and coordinated. Lack of coordination among the stakeholders, of financial and human capacities to implement this sustainable solid waste management. Also, lack of quality waste data, so there is not much information about the waste that is produced, so monitoring and research, both on the side of governments or academia or private sectors, and obviously the armed conflict that negatively affects the infrastructure of solid waste management. So, but there are also opportunities in this humanitarian context. So, first, to reduce waste. So the preferred solution, also shared out by NGOs, is waste prevention and reduction towards zero waste, minimization, and circular approach. So the second step is the establishment of official and good quality reuse and recycling systems, involve multiple stakeholders and secure funding, and also establish data collection and monitoring mechanism. And also, what was stressed out by all the research participants of the project was to prioritize the sensitization of all stakeholders to change the mentality. to build technical capacities, and also governments need to promote unrequired waste segregation. And also, what they also really stress out, and because it's really important for them, is to implementation of local solutions. So this is what they commented as. And also, what could be the potential bio-based solutions or bio for human? Or what we are looking for is bio-based product, bio-based technologies, bio-based processes, bio-based system, or bio-based innovations. So this is our example. So we see here bio-based plastic could be options for packaging, for instance, for packaging waste. Then bio-based packaging, biofibers for textiles, maybe for clothes or for bags where they receive the food. Hygiene and sanitary products, bio-based construction materials, or bio-based lubricants. Okay. Yep. So also here you have more examples. So for instance, disposable tableware, so like plates, bowls, or cups, they're even 100% bio-based feedstock, good fiber-based flexible bags, biofoam and sleeving pads, bio-based cleaning products. So these could be examples of what we are looking for. Okay. Also, I talk about technologies. So technologies we are also looking for: composting, including rapid composting, bioremediation, waste biorefineries, black solder fly, or bio-waste processing, vermiculture, and other kind of resource recovery technologies. So here you have examples of what we are, more examples of what we are looking for. So solutions for replacing non-renewable materials, solutions for transforming the waste and utilizing it for innovative products. Also, new and original applications of residues, or ideas for recombining the bio-based materials and further ingredients. So we are, it's only 1 year project, so we are still working on it. But well, I put here the next step because I will ask you to do something later in the slide. But well, now we are on the phase of collecting information of different bio-based solutions that could apply to humanitarian context. So the goal is to have 10 bio-based solutions and then conduct the LCA assessment and do this set of guidelines. So what we are doing for collecting all this information is first this survey that I will put later on the slide. So please, everyone from the bio-based sector, I mean, most of you are from this sector, can answer to the questionnaire. Okay, then we are also analyzing the bioproducts and bioservices derived through other projects. Also, the product information on web pages of national and international organizations. Also, the awards given to the exceptional products and at the biggest trade fair. And also, we are analyzing the formal applications submitted to the European Patents Office. So it's a lot of information we are gathering. Okay, so now this is what I was talking about. So please, if you come from this sector, use this square to enter into the questionnaire. So the questionnaire is mostly in order to gather information of the maybe products your company is developing or materials you have. So, and also, of course, if you want for Bio for Human Consortium to ask you about more information, you can tick the box, maybe yes or not, depending on you. But, well, this is really important because if your solution goes on to the next steps, it will be included in the set of guidelines for policymakers, for other organizations, for NGOs. So it's really a good initiative to have this survey. So, well, if you please with your mobile phone, it's really easy. It's not take longer than 5 minutes, and we really need inputs of the bio-based sector. So that's all from my side. So then later you can ask me any question. So thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Okay, let's try once again. The online people. Fuensanta from CETEC for UpPE-T.
Hello. Because I don't know what happened before, but my computer restarted without notice. So.
Okay, we hear you now, Fuensanta. Thank you very much. I don't know if she will share the screen.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sharing the screen.
Hello, we can see you now.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen. So the floor is yours.
Fine, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting us to this event, and congratulations for the project, because you are in the last step, so congrats. And I'm trying to share with you some of the outcomes of UpPE-T. UpPE-T is ending in April 2025, and we are also in the last step. And there are 20 partners and 10 countries involved. The final objective is to upcycling plastic waste from packaging to transform it into biodegradable material that can be used again to produce packaging. We are working in several biotechnologies. We have developed enzymatic depolymerization of PET and PE to obtain the monomers. We are using these monomers for the production of biodegradable plastic of the type of PHBB, modulating the content of the monomer hydroxyvalerate to change the plastic properties. And in parallel, we are working on evaluating the sustainability of the processes by performing the life cycle assessment, social life cycle assessment and cost assessment, proposing processes for the valorization of the byproducts, and also working on standardization and certification schemes. The first part of the biotransformation of the waste is by using enzymes. Our partner Enzymical has worked on obtaining a novel peptase able to depolymerize the PET waste into the monomers. And these monomers are going to be introduced in another 2 bioprocesses that are aiming at obtaining PHBB. As a parallel technology, our partners EG, in university in the north of Germany, they've worked on a cocktail of enzymes that are able to degrade PE in a cascade way. They have published an article, and I will include the link to the article in the chat after the presentation. They are using different kind of enzymes that are acting in the proper step of the degradation process. And with the monomers, we are developing, or we have developed a process for the production of PHBB. It is a process that we can improve circularity by using waste from the industry as the carbon source. In this project, we are using waste from the candy industry, and also we are using as nutrients some of the degradation product that we obtained from the PET enzymatic degradation. And we have scaled the process to 300 liter bioreactor. We have published a paper where we are explaining how we are using this waste from the candy industry to produce the PHBB, and I'm also putting the link in the chat. And as I said before, as parallel activities, we work on the life cycle assessment by evaluating the raw materials involved and the chemicals, the energy, the water, and transportation involved in the different processes. And also we have proposed routes for the valorization of the different byproducts. And another important outcome has been QA, that is a workshop agreement that we prepared together with CEN. And you can see the methodology that we have developed in the CEN webpage. We have proposed a way of determining the hydroxyvalerate content in a PHBB by nuclear magnetic resonance. I'm also including the link in the chat. And as a second part in the project, we have compound the PHBB that we have produced in the previous part. And we have worked on obtaining 2 different grades of biodegradable plastic, one for flexible packaging and another one for rigid packaging. And at the same time, we have evaluated the biodegradability and recyclability of the packaging. And we are working currently in evaluating and validating the different packaging by the end users. The end users that are involved are meat industry, cheese industry, and the candy industry. As part of the materials that we are developing, our partner Boku has worked on modifying silica and cellulose, aiming to give barrier properties to the final blends. And they have published two papers that I'm also sharing with you in the chat. And as you can see in this slide, this blend has been processed. We have evaluated the processability, the mechanical properties using equipment that is the standard equipment used by the plastic industry, such as blown extruding or extrusion or cast extrusion, or even injection molding. Here you can see some of the packages that we have obtained with the blends that we've developed with the PHBB. We also prepare sticks for lollipops and trays. And we are currently validating the different packaging with the end users, with the food industry. We are evaluating the performance of the different packaging in terms of sealability, transparency, appearance, dimensions, etc. And moving to a different part of the project, that is the parallel studies that we have performed. We've worked on social and humanities and gender aspect of the project, and our partner ED has worked on 3 different study cases: Finland, Italy, and Serbia. They've evaluated and studied the recycling systems, the citizens' behavior in the 3 different countries that were selected, because one of them are more developed in terms of circularity, and some of them are more in an earlier stage. And they have compared the three countries, and that will be the final deliverable, the comparison between the three countries in terms of policy, in terms of citizen attitudes, in terms of recycling systems. And an important part of the activities we've been working on is citizen awareness. To this end, we have developed a specific web page, which is European Citizen Awareness Enabled. Here you have the QR to get in the web page. Our sister project, Preserve and Uplift, they have participated in providing material for the webpage, and we are targeting mainly young people and vulnerable groups. We have also worked on a MOOC that includes 4 modules, 5 modules in different languages, and in which the students and users can learn about biodegradability, about biodegradable materials, about recycling, about circular economy, and it's free and open to everyone. We have also developed a virtual reality app with different videos in 3D, where you can see the different technologies that we develop firsthand. And here you can see the QR to scan it and to download the app and to see the different videos. And to finalize, I'm talking about another important part we work on, that is the policy review. Our partner IDI has developed a policy brief, will be one of the deliverables. And together with Preserve, as Estela knows, because she's worked a lot in that part, we have developed, together with Preserve, Uplift, and another project, a white paper, a joint white paper that you can find in Zenodo repository. And well, as I said before, after the presentation, I'm including different links for you to click and to find useful information about our outcomes, our important results from our project. And thank you, and I'm open to questions at the end of the session.
Thank you, Fuensanta. Good. So shall we pass to the last presentation of the session, which is UpLift project, and it will be led by Alberto Barranca from AIMPLAS. Alberto, do you hear us?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Wait a minute. We are sharing now the screen.
Okay.
Okay, we see you now.
Perfect. I'm going to share my screen.
Yes.
I have to say that my presentation is smaller in comparison with the other ones. It's going to be very, very general. But please, if you have questions or something like that, in the question type, you can ask me. So, okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Estela, for inviting to me. First of all, I want to thanks to Estela for leading the white paper with the sister project. I think that is going to be a really important document that is quite in favor to new recycling technologies, as has been studied in this project. So as I have told to you at the beginning, this presentation is going to be quite general, okay? So I'm going to provide to you a general view of what is Uplift, what is the main impact in the project, and also the methodology that has been followed in the different work packages. I have to say that this project started at 8 for 2021 and is going to end at February 2025. So we are at the end of the project. So we are in the scale up phase. So the overall idea of Uplift, sorry, is to biologically depolymerize bio and fossil-based plastic packaging waste and convert it into more renewable and easily upcyclable polymers following a biorefinery approach. So from a general perspective, in this project, we are going to valorize food and drink packaging waste in order to transform it in different materials for the food and drink industry, like, for example, different films, bio-based films, and another material for this industry. So UpLift will address or is addressing the full plastic packaging value chain from monomer production to packaging material manufacturing and back to end of life reusing and recycling options. So what are the impacts that is expected that the project cover? The first one is try to contribute to upcycle food and drink packaging materials, which account for at least 6% of the market by 2030. The second one is a novel standard and certification scheme to be applied. The third one is delivery of novel plastic packaging solution with less environmental impact. And the fourth one is the contribution to bring the European plastic packaging industry in the forefront of innovation and sustainability worldwide. So I'm going to highlight the second, all impacts are quite important, but I want to highlight the second one because in the UpLift project, I am the World Package One leader. This work package is quite focused in the standardization. Okay, so I want to highlight that in this project, very focused on novel recycling technologies based on biological recycling. Okay, we have been very focused in the standardization part. Okay, and now we are working on a proposal of standardization based on the different technologies and also based on different products that are obtained or are being obtained in the project. Okay, so I think that this point is quite important, and also in the white paper that you can check it. The white paper that Sister Project has prepared. I think that is quite important to talk about the standardization about these new biological recycling technologies, because I think that the end of this kind of new technologies is trying to achieve the market level. And for this fact, is quite necessary to highlight the standardization part. So if we want to develop, if we want that this new recycling technology get more mature, I think that is quite important, the standardization part. So here are the main objectives. So the main objective, as I have told you previously, is the development of circular plastic packaging value chains in the food and drink sector by applying novel eco-design strategies and biochemical upcycling technology routes. For this purpose, two main specific objectives has to be achieved. The first one is try to combine biodepolymerization of plastic and bio-based building blocks to obtain smarter and renewable plastic materials, which will enable the effective upcycling of plastic packaging waste streams. And the second one is to fully integrate the biochemical upcycling technologies within already existing and more mature recycling processes and fermentation processes. All these prototype materials and processes will be tested in a relevant operational scale close to expected performance TRL 6. I have to say, it's not in the presentation, okay, but the final demonstrator that in which we are working on are mainly bottles, different films, a thermoconformated sheet. So from waste, we can obtain a new product from biological recycling new product interested for the food and drink packaging sector. Okay, so here we have the different partners. So this consortium is quite interesting because it covers all actors that a technology requires for growth. So we have universities, for example, the Alberto University, who is the coordinator. Also, we have technological research center like AIMPLAS. And then we have a different company. For example, I want to highlight Tecnaro or Biomi, who are very involved, actors that are very involved in the scale up of the different technologies. So here we have the methodology. I think that this is the final slide. So first of all, we have the work package one, that is the analysis of the plastic value chains. Is led by myself. So currently we are in the point that we have to propose standardization for one product or one technology for that has been studied in the UpLIFT project. So currently we are in the point of ask to the different partners about what is interesting to standardize. Okay. So the second one is I think that the more lab work package that is quite involved, or sorry, that is quite focused in the polymerization of plastic and also purification. So from this work package are obtained different key molecules or key building blocks which are going to be fermented in the work package 3 in order to in the work package 4 synthesize different polyesters that will be the feed or the input for the different technologies that are being scaling up, okay? For obtaining, as I have told to you previously, bottles, sheet, that's all, okay? So also in parallel, we in the UpLIFT project, we have been very focused in the sustainability assessment of these technologies. Also, as all this kind of project in dissemination and exploitation of the different resources. Okay, so I think that's all from my side. Please, if you have any doubt, let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alberto. Okay, so we have our 4 projects presentation. Now, if anyone has questions, also if online, I don't know if we have some questions. Yep.
There is a question online for Carla. I would like, here Ola Kunle asks, no, sorry, it's for Estefenía, sorry. It's for Estefenía. I think I would like to ask if BioRadar would be favorably disposed to collaborating with our company in deploying similar project solutions in Nigeria.
I mean, definitely we are open to collaborate with different companies, especially for this co-creation part. I believe it would be super valuable that we have some feedback from you. So definitely if we can get in touch, maybe she can give us a contact through the chat or something, or maybe she can reach out to our website and she can find our contacts there as well. So she can directly write us an email and then we can see how to collaborate. Thank you.
Thank you, Estefenía. Any questions from the room? You have 2 there.
Thank you. Estefenía, that would be for you as well. It sounds a bit like a B Corp certification. What would be the difference except for the non-paying part?
So to be honest, I'm not an expert in these certifications, but as far as I understand, this is more or less the approach that bigger companies are taking and that have already put in place and have specific targets and everything for this part. But then what we want to focus on, especially the startups and smaller companies that are not really obliged to achieve these specific targets or are not really they don't have clear guidance on how to move forward into the sustainability and how to implement them. So I think the biggest difference for us would be these target groups and to really focus on how to make bigger steps with these small companies and how we can help them in that.
So my question is for the second to the last speaker. Sorry, I don't remember the name, but who worked on PHPV. So my question is, what is the current policy regarding packaging from biopolymers made from waste streams and possibly even genetically modified organisms? Is there a barrier that is stopping the use of these sources of biopolymers or not? Thank you.
Okay. So this is a question for Fuensanta. Thank you.
Yes, I think so. Well, the policies, I think currently they are working on it, on deciding different policies. For example, by when using waste, we need to work on this enough status of waste status to be able to use waste as a secondary raw material. And there's been some work on providing some regulation in this regard. And when it comes to modifying the microorganisms that are used to produce the PHPP, we are using a wild one, so we are not modifying it, but some of our partner is working on modifying the microorganisms to be able to increase the PHPP production and according to them, because I'm not an expert in that part, they can modify the microorganism, but there is some requirements for that. But I can't tell you because I'm not an expert. But if you send me your email, I can send you the information from the University of Alicante that are the one working on this engineering of the microorganisms.
So my name is Bashir Ruma, and I'll email you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. More questions to our speakers, projects? Nothing? Okay, good. So we conclude then this Synergy in Action session of the day with our invited projects. I will just repeat which ones they were for you to have a look. It was Fuensanta from CETEC speak about UpPE-T, Alberto Barranca from AIMPLAS about UpLIFT, Estefenía Carpo from BioRadar, and Carla Bartolomé from Bio4Humans. So thank you to all the projects for being here today and for help us in this event.